All right, I'm going to making one more video with the word problem here, and you'll be able to see how you use point slope form in a word problem. So this word problem is the following information. It says Bryce Canyon National Park. If you're not familiar with Bryce Canyon National Park, that's what it looks like. It's a beautiful national park. If you ever had a chance to go check it out, highly recommend it. Very beautiful, great hikes. But I'm going to go back here. So let's take a look at the actual problem here. So it says from 1990 to 2000, the number of thousand visits by people to Bryce Canyon National Park increased about 23.9 thousand visits per year. So that's a rate of change, if you will. That's my slope. So my slope is 23.9 visits per year. So visits per 1 year. Okay, so that was from 1990 to 2000, and then it says in 2000 there were about 1,102.4 thousand visits to the park. So that is a point that they gave us. They told us that in the year 2000. So what we do is we take a look at the time frame they're giving us here. From 1990 to 2000 has been 10 years. So in the year 2000, that's 10 years after 1990, and they gave us our data point as 1,102.4. Okay, so that's the information they gave us. Question might say, okay, so put it into point slope form. All right, so point slope form tells us to go y minus my y value equals my slope times quantity of x minus the x value, which is 10. Okay, so at this point, this is the answer as far as putting into point slope form. But let's make some sense out of all this. So if I'm at this point, what I can do is I can change it from point slope form, and I want to go ahead and change it to what we call slope intercept form. And what this is going to allow me to do is, if I get into slope intercept form, or if you remember what that looks like, y equals mx plus b, this last number here is going to be important. This will tell me where it began. In other words, back in 2000, from 1990 to 2000. So what I'm going to find out is at year 0, when it first began, when we start looking at this data, how many visits were there to the park. So we take a look at this, and I'll take this example here. I'll go y, I'll just rewrite it over here so we can watch the work. Okay, and so what I can do, the only thing I can do at this point is to distribute. And so I'm going to go ahead and distribute. The left-hand side will remain the same. On this side, I'm going to get 23.9x minus, you times it by 10, I move the decimal, so 239. Okay, and then the last thing I can do, which is on the left side here, I can add 1102.4. I'm going to add that to both sides of the equation. And that'll allow me to get my y by itself. So I get y equals 23.9x. I can use a calculator to find out the rest. Let's see, 239. And so I end up with positive 863.4. So what does that tell you? Well, this I already knew. It was growing at 23.9 million people per year, or thousands of people, I should say. So this one here tells us where it began in 1990, or at the year 1990. That's how many people, and I believe the word problem was in thousands. So this many in thousands, so times it by 1,000, was how many people actually showed up in the year of 1990. Okay, and so now that we have this, what I can now do is I can predict. If this is consistently the same, I can predict what will happen in, let's say, this year, 2014. Okay, so 2014, from 1990 to 2014, you ask yourself, how many years have passed? Well, let's see, there's 14 plus another 10, there's 24 years have passed. At this point, what you can do is you can substitute 24 years into my domain. You plug it in right there. And so let's just see what that would come out to be. 23.9 times 24 years plus the 863.4. So I'm going to do this math real quick. If I do the multiplication portion, I get 573.6. I add that to 863.4. and I end up with an answer of 1,437. And so that's thousands of people. So in other words, if you times it, or visitors, times it by 1,000, you're going to see what kind of number you get there. Okay, so anyway, that's how you work out some word problems. Hopefully that was helpful for you.